I strongly believe that sometimes people need to fight it out. Because talking doesn't do it. Sometimes you can talk. Like if it's certain situations, you could talk to a person. You express how you feel. They express how they feel. Y'all come to a mutual agreement that y'all either don't agree or, you might start seeing it from another person's point of view. When it gets to the level, or when you deal with people that, like, sometimes how I used to be, I don't even want to hear that shit. I don't give a fuck how you felt. I don't care what you thought. What's up? What we doing?
And I'm a trained killer. Literally, like, fuck boxer. I'm a trained killer. So it'd be like, they be talking about this girl, and it's like, I don't do no 30-second fights. 30 seconds? I don't wear your ass out. Listen, you give me 3 minutes with any of them girls, it's gonna be bad. 2 minutes is gonna be bad. That's why I'd be like, what the hell they be talking
Now
about?
that the legal system finally seems to be leaning in Ramir's favor, you can almost feel the relief in his voice. After so many years of pain, confusion, and unanswered questions, he's finally seeing a little bit of hope. He's been fighting for so long just to be acknowledged, just to know the truth, and now it looks like that truth might finally come out. But while Ramir might be breathing a little easier, not everyone is feeling the same way. There's someone out there who's getting more and more uncomfortable with each new update, and that person is Matthew Knowles, Bianchi's father. Word on the street is that Matthew is beyond frustrated. And no, it's not just about Bianchi's image being dragged into this mess. It's about Jay-Z's past, his old secrets that keep creeping back up at the worst possible time. First, there were those cheating rumors. Then came whispers about his alleged connection to Diddy and those strange, unsettling stories surrounding him. And now, a young man named Ramir is claiming he's Jay-Z's biological son and that Jay was involved with his mother while she was still underage. That accusation alone is enough to send shockwaves through the entire industry. If the DNA test proves that Ramir really is Jay-Z's son, and even worse, if it turns out that his mother was a minor when Jay was involved with her, then the Carters might be facing a scandal so explosive it could tear everything apart. This isn't just about Jay-Z being embarrassed or Bianchi getting caught in the storm. It's about their reputation, their empire, their carefully crafted legacy. Everything they've worked for could come crashing down. That's why some people believe Jay-Z is doing everything he can to keep the store closed, to protect his wife, his kids, and the brand he's spent decades building. The question is, at what cost? Interestingly enough, Jay-Z recently gave what many are calling his first real, firm response to all of Ramir's claims. He didn't go on an emotional rant, and he didn't break down in public. Instead, he called the entire lawsuit nothing more than part of a decades-long harassment campaign. His legal team said that Ramir's claims had already been addressed in the past and rejected by several courts. And yet, Ramir continues to tell his story, talking to anyone who will listen, refusing to let go. But here's where things get even more tense. Ramir has also said that Jay-Z's legal team tried to intimidate him, using pressure to silence him. Jay-Z's lawyers are now calling that a complete lie. They claim they only tried to contact Ramir's legal guardian to peacefully set up a meeting, but were met with what they described as hostility. And after that, all communication came to a halt. To a lot of people watching from the outside, Jay-Z's actions just don't make sense. If he's so sure that Ramir isn't his child, then why not just take a simple DNA test and end this once and for all? Why let it drag on for years and let the world speculate? Why not just clear his name, protect his family, and move on? This is what's making so many people suspicious. If Jay-Z has nothing to hide, why does it seem like he's been avoiding the test for so long? What's he running from? Some people believe that the truth may be far more damaging than he wants the world to know. Maybe he's afraid that a positive test would prove Ramir's claims, and that would mean the story about the underage relationship might also be true. That's the kind of revelation that could ruin lives and partnerships and shatter the public's trust. Ramir, on the other hand, is just trying to be seen. For years, he's been begging for a test, just one moment of honesty, one chance at closure. Imagine growing up wondering who your real father is and being ignored by one of the most powerful men in the world. It's heartbreaking, it's painful, and it's unfair. You can feel the pain in the way people are rallying behind Ramir online. Many believe he's been pushed around by a system that favors the rich and powerful. And now, with Jay-Z allegedly using his money and lawyers to delay or avoid this test, It feels like yet another example of how justice isn't always equal. Someone online said it best: enough is enough. Just take the test. If the results prove that Jay-Z isn't Ramir's father, then Ramir can finally begin to heal and move on. But if it proves the opposite, if Jay-Z has really been ignoring his own son all this time, then it's a tragedy that needs to be faced. And let's be real for a second. If Jay-Z has known all along, or even suspected it and still chose to stay quiet, that's not the man people think he is. That's not the image he's built as a leader, a father, and a role model. That's something people won't forgive easily. Then there's the other issue: if he is Ramir's father, can he even legally or emotionally claim him at this point? After years of denial and silence? Or would that be too little too late? It's a question that digs deep. Some people are even saying Jay-Z has avoided the test because he doesn't want to risk exposing himself as someone who was involved with a minor. If that part of the story is also true, and if that's the real reason, then we're not just dealing with a paternity scandal anymore. We're talking about something far more serious, something criminal. Ramir deserves the truth. He deserves closure. He deserves justice. And the longer this drags on, the more people start questioning who Jay-Z really is behind the fame and the fortune. What do you think? Is Jay-Z really Ramir's father? Have you ever looked at their photos side by side? Do you see the resemblance? Sound off in the comments, because this story is far from over and something tells me the truth is going to come out, whether Jay-Z is ready for it or not. Now that the legal system finally seems to be leaning in Ramir's favor, you can almost feel his sigh of relief. After so many years of confusion, rejection, and emotional battles, he's just hoping for peace. All he's ever wanted was clarity. Not fame, not revenge, just the truth. And if the court finally allows that truth to come out, maybe he can finally move forward with his life. But not everyone is happy about how things are unfolding. In fact, there's one man who seems to be growing more and more frustrated as this story refuses to go away: Matthew Knowles. Word is, he's been extremely irritated, not just because of the case, but because Jay-Z's past keeps creeping back into the present, and it's starting to damage more than just his own image. It's now reaching Bianca too, and not in a good way. Think about it. From the cheating rumors that rocked their marriage, to whispers of shady business connections with people like Diddy, Jay-Z has been at the center of several uncomfortable stories. And each time something surfaces, Bianca somehow gets caught in the middle, whether she wants to or not. Now this possible DNA scandal involving Ramir threatens to explode into something far bigger. Because if the results confirm that Jay-Z really is Ramir's biological father, and that Ramir's mother was underage at the time of their alleged relationship, then this is no longer just a messy family issue. It becomes a full-blown crisis, and this wouldn't just affect Jay-Z and Bianca as individuals. This could damage their entire legacy. Everything they've built as a couple, their brand, their influence, their image as a powerful family, it could all come crashing down. That's why Jay-Z seems to be going out of his way to make sure this stays buried. To protect the family, he publicly claims the one that fits his carefully shaped story. But what's interesting is that for the first time in a long while, Jay-Z has responded directly to the situation. His legal team recently made a statement, calling the lawsuit the latest chapter in what Jay describes as a decades-long campaign of harassment. According to him, these claims have been reviewed and rejected by several courts, and yet Ramir still hasn't stopped telling his story to anyone willing to listen. Jay-Z's lawyers even pushed back hard against Ramir's claim that they tried to intimidate him. They say that's simply not true. They argue that all they did was reach out to Ramir's guardian to try and schedule a meeting, but that attempt was apparently met with hostility, and all communication stopped afterward. Still, a lot of people aren't buying that. Many feel that Jay-Z and his team are going out of their way to avoid one simple thing: a DNA test. And honestly, if he's really so sure that Ramir isn't his son, why not just take the test and prove it? Why let this situation drag on for so many years, when a quick test could settle it all in a matter of days? This is why a lot of people online believe that Jay-Z is hiding something. They think his actions don't line up with the confidence he claims to have. And as more time passes, it's only making Ramir's side of the story feel more believable. Imagine begging someone for over a decade just to take a test that could give you answers. That's not just frustrating, it's heartbreaking. It's emotional abuse in its own way. No one deserves to live in that kind of limbo, especially when it's tied to their identity and sense of self. And let's be real, Ramir isn't just some random person off the street. He's someone